Heyo everyone, Misha be barkin' here. In case you weren't aware, 2 weeks ago I was at Furlandia 2023. This is only my second con ever, and my first con since starting to upload regularly on my channel. My first con was Spokanthro in 2019, and I really enjoyed that. It was the first moment I felt myself really come out of my shell and embrace the furry community, and want to dive in full force. So was Furlandia the same? Did I enjoy that con as much as Spokanthro, or did it flop? Did anyone recognize me? Let's talk about that. This is gonna be a chill video just discussing my experience with the cons, so sit back, relax, grab your book, art pad, or pull out the homework assignment you've been putting off, and let's dive on in.
Day one of the con, we got the fursuit head pile. I can't do this. We got the fursuit head pile. Some of them are missing because Neo's already down there. Stripe's sitting up right now, but first day of Furlandia, baby!
We rolled in Thursday evening and got settled into the hotel, and they were pretty okay rooms, except for a couple issues.
How the f is this not draining? It's a hole. It's just a hole. How is it not draining?
But the con didn't start till Friday, so Friday morning we all got up, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and ready for registration at 9. Only registration wasn't ready for us.
Line con. Line con. Line con. Line con.
Yeah, there was some technical difficulties. Apparently the printer, which had just been working, was no longer doing the one thing it was supposed to, because of course it wasn't. That being said, they got it fixed after 30 minutes or so, and the line went relatively fast after that. And with that out of the way, we actually had to switch rooms to a 2-bed as opposed to 1. I was staying with my boyfriend Argo and my 2 new friends, Quinn and Stripe, and the initial plan was Goot and I in the bed and Quinn and Stripe on the air mattress. Only the air mattress didn't do the one thing it was supposed to do, and deflated. I'm noticing a theme here. I woke up at 3 in the god morning to those two giggling to each other about the air mattress deflating. So yeah, we switched rooms and got settled in again, and Quinn stayed behind to relax after not sleeping well. Argo slept just fine, by the way. Dude apparently sleeps through everything. Stripe, Goot, and I were vibing down in the lobby when we met a new pal, Moofin. He was super chill, and we'd see him periodically throughout the rest of the con. Speaking of Moo, I think he was here for this too, but some furry just walked up to the shelves in the lobby behind us, grabbed a vase off the shelf, and just walked away. We all just kind of looked at each other in bewilderment. He just snagged one of the vases from the hotel you see everywhere and pocketed it, and then dipped towards the room. Just why? Anyways, a little bit after that, we went and got food from the hotel restaurant. They had a separate menu for us, which I'm regretting not taking a picture of, that contained things like burgers, chicken strips, and mac and cheese. I'm not complaining, it was just kind of funny. During the lunch though, who else would walk by but the f***ing Among Us suit? God. After that was the opening ceremonies. I went alone to that, and it was over within like 5 minutes. No joke, the chair got up there, said he was the chair, told us the con wasn't gonna happen, but he made it so, then told us to go have fun. Got a pic with my friend Suka though, so it wasn't all bad. After taking a fat nap, like 3 whole hours of me being passed out, I got up and went to a room party with Argo and met some pals there. Everyone was dressed, get your mind out of the gutter. We drank and played Mario Party, then headed down to the dance and vibed for a little bit. I got to dress up as Rascal, and this was the first time I'd left my room in a skirt, but I'd say I rocked it, to be honest. The music was pretty okay. It started out high energy, then kind of tapered off as time went on. So we decided to head back up and play one more round of Mario Party before calling it a night.
Day 2 of Furlandia, baby. It's like 12:30-ish. We just got done at IHOP. Argo and I are about to head down to the fursuit parade. Not the parade, the picture. Argo's gonna wear Rascal, so that'll be fun. Both Misha and Rascal will be in the picture. My friend Cass is coming. I'm super excited to meet them. And yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing with these clips, but
I had a story from IHOP, but for the life of me, none of us on the trip can remember what happened that would have been story-worthy. After some pretty yummy breakfast, Argo and I headed down to the fursuit photo. Argo wore Rascal, and I of course wore Misha. We were unfortunately way in the back, so we're very hard to spot, but luckily Argo's over 6 foot, so Rascal is just above the line of sight. This is the second time this has happened. This also happened at Spokanthro back in 2019. Anyway, we got done with that and vibed there for a little bit, hanging out with my friend Suka again and watching the other suitors vibe. Fursuiting 101. This panel was fun to attend. It wasn't what I expected personally, but I still definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was going to be discussing how to more effectively get into character and suit, but this panel was about taking care of your suit, the do's and don'ts of cleaning and what to use to clean it. All very useful information to have. The TLDR is clean your suit thoroughly after every major event or gathering that involves you sweating a lot, such as a con, but you don't have to deep clean it after every time you wear them, such as for like Tik-Toks or something. Some suit or suit parts are safe for the washer. Ask your maker how to properly clean them. Abyssal green machine and a Furminator brush are your best friends. And don't use Lysol, like, at all, ever. So a bit of a tangent from con shenanigans, I was using the bathroom as one does and finished up, and when I looked over at the toilet paper holder, there was no roll. I panicked and looked around, knowing that this was all for naught, as we'd already discussed that we were on our last roll. I threw a text to my group chat I was in asking for help. It was hilarious sending the message, then hearing all three of them go, "Oh no," a few seconds later. Quinn messaged their friend Lexi and told them about the situation, and they said that only because it was Misha, we could steal a roll of toilet paper from them. The catch was that they wanted it back afterwards, which, a little weird, but fine. I forgot to mention, Lexi is Quinn's friend, and Quinn introduced me to her, Rio, and Raiden Thursday night, and when I said my name, they all immediately were like, "You're Misha, oh my god," so that was a bit surreal. Does getting recognized get easier? Anyway, back to the story. I asked who emptied the toilet paper holder, and Quinn's hand shot up. That son of a bitch. I went back to turn off the light in the bathroom, and what do I see? The original toilet paper roll on the back of the toilet. Not on the roll, mind you. The white toilet paper next to the white wall on top of the white toilet, partially hidden by the white towel. We had a roll the whole goddamn time. Now, in Quinn's defense, the toilet paper roll was stupid far away from the toilet. However, I'm still mad that they moved it and didn't tell a soul. So of course I ratted out Quinn to Lexi when I took the roll back. Lexi and Quinn's TikToks will be linked below, by the way. They're fellow TikTok creators like me. So Argo and I were on the prowl Saturday night, looking for a potential room party to go to or people to hang out with, and let me tell you, this was a bit of a bust. We started out just hanging out in the hotel room, messaging friends and such to figure out what to do. Argo got a hit from someone who we met via Telegram. Apparently they were hosting a room party to watch a movie and have pizza. Sounds really good, right? Now listen, to each their own, but this was not either Argo or I's idea of how we wanted to spend that night. It was just not our crowd, you know? They were watching weird videos on YouTube and kind of scream singing and just in general being loud, and I just did not have enough spoons for that, man. We dipped, and I went into the dance to get some video really quick before heading back up to my room. Again, no spoons, and the smell was a Saturday night at a FurCon, to put it lightly. After getting back, I got a message from a friend of mine, Blonde. We chatted, and I wanted to go back to their room, as Quinn and Stripe were just relaxing back at the hotel. But we ran into an issue. They didn't have a room. They lived a half hour away from the con and just drove in every day. So Blonde, Argo, and I just hung out downstairs when who other than Lexi would walk up. A definitely sober Lexi, let me tell you. Regardless, she was an absolute delight to hang out with though, and chatting with her was a ton of fun. We all chatted for about 20 or 30 minutes before splitting up and heading our own ways. After that, Goot and I decided to cut our losses and head back up to the room, and eventually we turned in for the night. The final day of the con started with a very okay caramel macchiato and doing some people watching and just vibing on my own. It's kind of like having a secret identity in a way. I've only shown my face in one video and only really post my face on Twitter, so when I'm not wearing Misha or Rascal, many people just don't recognize me, so I can blend in and chill on my own. After I finished my coffee, Argo, Quinn, and Stripe headed down and we all went and got breakfast.
Last day of the con. Woo! We're getting Taco Bell. Woo! Anything anyone want to say? Taco Bell, yeah!
Yeah, it was pretty good. After we got back, I went suiting. Now, I'd also suited for the past few days, and some of the pics being shown here were from those days as well, but the majority of my suiting time was Sunday before and after the TikTok panel, which I'll talk about later. This was also when I met some furries who wanted pics, and who knew who I was when wearing Misha, which was just wild to me. It really encapsulated that people really do watch my content, and people really do like what I make. You've got to remember, this is the first major furry thing I've gone to since starting my channel, and it's amazing to see people get excited when they meet me, and it really makes me happy doing what I do. Sorry if that sounds self-centered, I promise it's not. It just, validation feels good sometimes, you know? I also got to meet one of my earliest and best friends of the community, Casma. I can't tell you how excited I was to see them walk up and to be able to give them a big ol' hug. They also helped me set up my NFC chip and Misha's nose, so thanks so much for that, Cass. I'm also going to talk about the dealer's den next, but I forgot to include the little Cass plushie that I got and definitely took care of.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
In my defense, Cass said to put it in a jar, so strangling the plush for a picture was a much better fate than that. Anyway, the dealer's den. There were a ton of amazing artists, suit makers, shirts, books, practically anything you could think of. It was all there. It was super cool to just walk around and browse and spend too much money on merch that is being shown on screen now. Argo made it his goal to go through and get anything and everything auto-related, and as far as we know, he succeeded. See, he can do that, but if I tried that with dogs or foxes, I'd be bankrupt beyond belief. There was also the artist alley, but I didn't really go over there much. To be honest, I didn't realize the dealer's den or artist alley were separate or different things. Turns out the artist alley is more for getting commissions at the con, such as badges or sometimes traditional art pieces, while the dealer's den is for merch in general. But yeah, hopefully I've rambled on long enough for past me to show off all the merch I got. Tik-Tok panel. This was the last panel I went to and was run by the friend I mentioned earlier, Lexi. Well, Lexi was the main person. The other hosts were Arlo, Quinn, and Wara. The panel went over internet safety, lighting, what to do when you get hate, and how to use CapCut, which I still need to learn, and making your Sona come to life. It's harder to convey emotion in a suit that doesn't move, so you have to overdo your expressions or movements in order to overcome this. In terms of lighting, ring lights are your best friend, and if that's the case, then I have no best friends because I still need to get a ring light. And if you get hate, well, I already have a video on that. But they said to ignore it or block them, which, yes, but man, sometimes poking the bear is just too fun. After the panel, some of the creators and crowd stayed behind to record TikToks together, but considering I'd worn Misha for 2 hours at this point, I needed a shower before heading down to closing ceremonies. For the last time this con, I suited up as Rascal and went down with Argo to the closing ceremonies. In all honesty, I was expecting it to be a lot like the opening ceremonies, done in 5 minutes, but this was definitely longer than that, and hit a lot harder. This is where we learned that 1,009 furries attended Furlandia this year, and that the hotel was already confirmed for next year. Next year's theme is also furries in space, so that's really cool. Then they played a video of a bunch of footage and photos taken over the weekend, and it really tugged at the heartstrings for me. After that, we were dismissed, and Argo and I went up to the hotel room, and I took off Rascal, and after seeing Argo, Quinn, and Stripe there in the room with me, I cried. I just broke down there and then. Furlandia was genuinely one of the best weekends of my life, and one that I will remember for the rest of my time here. And seeing them there, my boyfriend and 2 people who before the weekend were basically strangers, but were now people I can easily call close friends, it all just overwhelmed me. I couldn't have asked for better roommates to share this con experience with, and I really hope they feel the same. Even now writing this and speaking it too, these emotions are still raw, and I feel that all too familiar lump in my throat appearing. I didn't want the weekend to end, but unfortunately I had to. But you know what they say, don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. So whether it's Furlandia 2024 or some other con, I know it'll happen again, and I can't wait.
So yeah, that was Furlandia 2023. I would have recorded this a lot sooner. It's like midnight, but I was way too emotional after the closing ceremony, so we're doing this now. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my recap. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!